Hi folks, Robert J. E. Simpson here. Thank you once again for tuning in to my regular COVID vlogs. Sorry I haven't been on for the last few days. Basically got a little bit overwhelmed with the situation. Thought I'd take a couple of days off, go and work on some other projects that didn't involve me having to vlog, and I'm back again. So let's see where we go this week. One of the things that I've done a lot of in the recent weeks has been retire into a couple of old firm favourites. I'm finding it very hard to get motivated at times and to actually be productive and proactive on some of the things that I really want to get done. But it's also given me the time to recharge my batteries and to escape, and I have inevitably retreated towards the things of my youth. So I've been indulging in quite a bit of classic Doctor Who, thanks to the recent BBC Blu-ray re-releases. Like, I really need to have another version of those within my collection. It's not enough that I already have them on BBC VHS tapes, that I still have my VHSs that I recorded of TV back in the 90s. But also I've got them all on DVD, and now I'm buying them on Blu-ray as well. This is the sadness of a collector. But the other thing that I've ended up retreating back into is this thing here. The X-Files, one of the best TV shows that was ever made, was something that I ended up devouring when it was first released back in the day, although at some point I drifted away from it, and it was only a few years ago I actually managed to track down DVDs of the rest of the run and finally find out what actually happened. I had no idea. But the fact that I'm a fan of this probably shouldn't surprise many of you. My interest in the weird and the unexplained is not terribly well hidden. I did earn something of a career for myself for a few years, running about horror films. This is not a million miles away to talk about science fiction and sort of the weirdness that exists within this. Also, I'm not just an X-Files fan, I'm also a subscriber to this magazine here, 40 Times, which, if you've never come across, is packed full of weird and wonderful things within our world. Maybe true, maybe not true. I leave that for you to decide. So I think a lot of us have probably had a lot of time to ourselves in recent weeks. We have probably retreated into a point at which we're considering the universe and all its possibilities. I think there's probably been a lot more consideration of religion, but also a consideration of maybe what else may exist out there. And the X-Files for me and 40 Times are things that just allow me to tap into that unknown element of the world. There's quite a lot of it, a lot of things that I don't understand, and I'm quite happy to not understand it. I love the idea that there's just possibly something else out there, whether it's ghosts or aliens or, I don't know, whatever. I have no idea, but these shows allow me to tap into that and to just sort of embrace that complete unknown. And the X-Files I've been thoroughly re-enjoying. I've got through season 1. I'm now into season 2. I feel I may talk about this probably more comprehensively later on in the run of these films. I had sort of been dabbling with it again anyway. I came across my DVDs again in the house, but then I got chatting to my friend Steffi Metal, who you may find on Instagram. She also has a blog, which she hasn't done for a while. Steffi, if you're listening, you need to get back into doing the blogging. But she's a friend of mine who, just sort of the creative chats and stuff we've had, I have found quite inspiring, and it's prompted me a couple of times into go off and doing little bits and pieces. But we ended up nattering about the X-Files as well recently, and it sort of has revived my my desire to kind of want to rerun through everything and just sort of go off on flights of fantasy. And that's exactly what I'm doing at the moment. So into series 2, still trying to work out exactly where and when Scully and Mulder actually get it together. I'm convinced that there's something going on in season 1, which sort of drifts in and out as it goes through. Those of you who've actually watched the entire run, it'll not surprise you to know that they do eventually get together before the season is out. But yeah, who knows. Anyway, that's me at the moment. I'm off indulging in sort of questioning, basically, is what I guess this point of this video is today. I'm sitting having the time to question my existence, question the things that I've done in life, what I guess that has been worthwhile, and wondering what I should do next. And I'm trying not to adhere to this logo, trust no one, although I gotta say I've been burnt enough times over the years to learn how to be somewhat skeptical, somewhat more questioning than I used to be. Trust no one is maybe a little bit too far for me, but certainly trust few and far between. There's an awful lot of deception out there. There are an awful lot of people who are out there to use you for their own ends. Yes, I certainly question everybody. This has been a bit more rambling than I intended it to be. I hope that the ones I post later on in the week will have a little bit more focus to them. I've got a couple of things I want to talk about specifically, but we'll cross that in the next couple of days. Until then, adios.